exaggeration, absolutely the greatest MLS Cup final of all time. And it is my distinct pleasure to say the 2022 MLS Cup champions are Los Angeles Football Club.
Let's fucking go! Champions, baby!
All right, everybody, this is the 110 Football Instant Reaction Championship postgame. We've got a great crowd. I've got a great crew here with me. I've got J.R. the Scarf, Max Bretos, the voice of LAFC, Connor Kalopsis, who probably has no voice and might not.
Bit. I'm
got a little bit left.
Smash that like button,
And
Andres.
I have Vince Rosa. Guys, just right off the top, if you can even muster it, what emotions do you have left? Well, how can you describe this game?
Look, I've been in tears 5 or 6 times since this match ended, and I felt like John McCarthy, like a kid in a candy store who just found the most wonderful candy store of all time. Out there on the pitch, a Hollywood ending, Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale.
What more do you want?
Careful. We're gonna go over all these.
I'm just in tears. Like I've cried. I've wept. This is the most beautiful night of my life.
When you're emotionally involved with a club, you don't want to experience those ups and downs. You just want the trophy, right? You just want so to go like this and go, it's not going to happen. It's going to happen. Oh, we're going to go in extra time. Oh, we're not going to win the penalties. They have the best goalkeeper in the league. It was the tears. It was also vomit actually came up on 3 occasions. I had to take a mince. It was that bad.
It was all.
I don't want to go through that again.
I know all the ways it was supposed to happen. It didn't, and it happened all the ways you never imagined it would have.
What I like is not only did we win the trophy in the last game of the season, we beat the big shit talkers LA Galaxy, we beat Austin FC, and we beat the Philly Union. 3 teams who could not stop talking all year. Goodbye, Campeones, Campeones.
You have to admit, probably one of the toughest roads to an MLS Cup final of all time.
The toughest road that any team could have had to win this year by far.
Okay, so normally we do 3 reactions, and it's normally kind of throughout the game weaving. You got to start from back to front because I think we have to start with the man. Did anyone have John McCarthy as their MLS Cup final MVP?
You interviewed him yesterday.
We did.
I mean, talk about serendipity.
I would take 0 credit for that.
Why not?
Yeah. By the way, can I say this about John McCarthy?
Yes.
All this Philadelphia sports story, we just saw the best Philadelphia sports story right there.
Yes.
That was the best Philadelphia sports story. John McCarthy coming off the bench in tears, getting the MVP of the MLS Cup.
Yes.
You would have won $1 million on a $10 bet if you put it on John McCarthy.
John McCarthy basically sat where Max Bretos was yesterday in a Phillies uniform. And we talked to him about the game, just how he thought it was going to go. And he told me, look, I'm just happy to be there with my wife, my child, my father. And I just hope I get to raise that trophy. And just the way he saved those penalties, emphatic.
You can't write that kind of an ending. Hollywood is now looking to this game for script ideas.
Peter Goober could finance the movie. Let's get it.
Absolutely. Make the movie.
I'm a big hat guy. I'm wearing a hat that currently says...
Yeah, change your hat,
MLS
bro.
Western Conference champions. I think we need new hats. What do you guys think? MLS Cup champions now.
A lot of people have been walking out of that store right next door with those very nice hats. And I'm sure that this crowd, after they're done here, are going to go in there and get their own.
The Philadelphia penalties, Gazdag skied it, and then they missed everything. And there was a moment, and we got to talk to John McCarthy because Elfath went up to him and said something, and he said, "My feet are behind the line. My feet are."
Elfath said,
and he
"Get
shoved
on the
it
line."
back in his face. He goes, "I'm in here," and he shoved it back in the referee's face. And I was like, "He's locked in."
I love it.
That's a locked-in keeper.
I do have to. I don't want to bring the tenor down too much, but we do have to say we hope the best for Maxime Crepeau.
Yes,
Not the
we
way
love
we
you,
would have
Maxime.
wanted John McCarthy to come into that game, and we best of health, Maxime. We hope you get back quick. I will say this: John McCarthy probably would have been subbed in no matter what, because Steve Trundle knew what he had in John McCarthy, and it's no mistake that against Club America, yes, he wasn't able to keep them out of the net, but got his hands to so many of those penalties. It was a precursor for this. They knew what they had.
That's a hot take. You're saying that he would have come in
because of the red card.
I have some sources. If there wouldn't have been a red card, John McCarthy likely would have been in there regardless.
Wow. Remember the Miami game? He had the 2 saves, 1 was disallowed, but that's his bag.
That's his bag, baby.
As much as I love John McCarthy, I want to talk about one more player. Can we talk about another player?
You want to move on to the next observation?
Gareth fucking Bale. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I was told no profanity.
Okay.
It's you two.
Tell me how it happened. Like, is it because we're in Hollywood? Like, what is this? I've been looking at chats for days on end where people are saying, why is Gareth Bale here?
Right.
What is he doing here? I can't believe this.
That shit right there. He's there for that.
This was
That's right. That's right. That's right.
He was brought in for this moment. By the way, what about the Stones for Steve Cherundolo? He didn't bring in Gareth Bale. Obviously, it was a different situation for Austin. You're winning the game. You figure he comes in there. But here, it was the right moment to bring him in the game. You didn't have to. Christian Teo got in front of him. I was still saying Bale may not get in this game. But he did, and they changed that entire attack. So Steve Cherundolo facilitated that. Obviously, Teo in the midfield, and Bale and Cheeky Palacios with an incredible run.
Yeah,
Put it in, and this place went bananas.
You have to talk about Cheeky Palacios. He busted it to keep that ball alive, and a beautiful cross into the box by a player who, look, we've talked about it. I'm not sure how much longer Cheeky Palacios is wearing black and gold because he is that good. We're going to see him play.
If that's the lasting
somewhere.
memory of Cheeky Palacios, I'll take it.
Absolutely.
I will take it.
Cheeky, that was the play of the year from Cheeky Palacios right there.
And look, Gareth Bale is the ultimate luxury player, and I mean this in the best sense.
Yeah.
LAFC did not need him. That's what I kept saying when people were getting on it. Like, why is Gareth Bale not playing? Why is it? Because Danny Bouanga was killing it. Because Chicho Arango was killing it. Carlos Vela was coming on. But what we did say, and we always said, in the back pocket for Steve Cherundolo is a player that can change the game in ways that not many players can, and we saw it. Well, in the biggest moment.
And one other thing, did you guys hear it? You might not have been able to hear it. When he scored, did you hear all of Wales finally exhale? Like,
Wales forever.
Gareth Bale is okay.
Wales forever.
He's going to be good for the World Cup. That's what I heard right after that goal happened. All of Wales exhale.
Well, how did the U.S. national team feel when?
I mean, I don't love that for sure.
Did we just ruin the USA World Cup by playing Gareth Bale? Did I bring that into existence? I'm sorry.
At this
No,
moment,
disregard
at
that.
this moment, nobody cares.
Strike it from the record. Come on.
Max.
You could tell me that they canceled the World Cup right now, and I would not care. Okay?
I don't think it'll get
That's
better
because
than
you're
this.
Italian.
Yeah, you're not going to get better. Yeah.
No.
Is there going to be a World Cup game that reaches the emotion, the back and forth, the drama?
Hopefully.
I mean, they'll be hard pressed to get
know.
it there.
There's no emotion when you score and then your opponent immediately scores, and we saw that with Philadelphia. LAFC they were engraving the trophy. It was 85th minute, Jesus Murillo, and then Jack Elliott ties it, and then Jack Elliott goes in front. People are going, this is all right. Where am I going to cry myself to sleep tonight? Right. And then Gareth Bale scores it. So everyone felt it. My heart goes to those Union fans. They thought the trophy was being engraved.
Oh, yeah.
They were magnificent. Philadelphia Union, fantastic. They were perfect for the showpiece event. These are the best two teams. I hope this is the final next year.
Well, I mean, that goes to our third observation. This was the two best teams, not just on points, but then in the game that we got, the back and forth nature. I mean, it was only going to take this to separate these teams. I think it's fitting that this is the way it ended. Well, Connor, you've been speechless.
I know.
What do you got?
Connor,
I'm so wrapped up in the moment.
I truly can't believe it. Like this happens time and time again at LAFC games. I don't know what it is inside.
Well, there was
this
nothing
building.
like this.
I don't know what it is inside this building. LAFC games are another level. I mean, I love this fucking team. I love this city.
How many more F-bombs do you get?
I know. That's it. A limit of emotions.
I will
by
say,
the way, the USC fans that are here, this is for you too. We're all Los Angelinos. This trophy's for you guys. They're all coming in.
I will say, I like to think I'm an optimistic fan, but after Crepeau gets ruled out of the game, maybe even ruled out of next season with a supposed compound fracture in his leg, red card sent off, and Philly score, it's really hard to be as optimistic as you can be in those scenarios. And I like to be as optimistic as I can be, but big game Bale, as Vince was saying, this is a player that everybody was on for not producing when it matters. He produces when it matters. You need one moment, a player to bury that in the back of the net, to get over Jack Elliott, to bury that header past the goalkeeper of the year in MLS. It's Gareth Bale.
Yeah. By the way, the emotions, I'll ask you this. Even when they tied Gareth Bale, the place goes bonkers, but then you think to yourself,
You still got to go to penalties against Andre Blake.
Against the best goalkeeper, arguably, in the league.
Yes.
I mean, you had to compartmentalize everything. That's really hard for a fan, for a supporter. It's hard to put all that into check.
Well, and you're thinking, look, all right, we got it to PKs now. We were down a man. We equalized it. And we're going into PKs with no pressure on McCarthy, right? Because everyone's thinking, well, we have no Maxime Crepeau. This is going to be a lot harder. Turns out we have J-Mac Daddy to come save us with those beautiful saves.
Daddy.
This was Clubber Lang winning in the Rocky movies, by the way. This was the Philadelphia story going the wrong way. This was the underdog
Clubber
losing
Lang.
to Clubber Lang, and we were Clubber Lang tonight.
Well,
I love it.
in a lot of ways, Philly beat themselves because Big John McCarthy is Philly through and through, and good for him. And, I mean, I honestly,
It's a great.
I love chatting with him. He's so matter
It's
of
a perfect
fact.
story. It's a perfect, with the exception of Maxime and the leg. But even I can imagine Maxime is probably his range of emotions are going through, and he knows the significance of this moment for John McCarthy, who was in tears as he got that MVP. It's like you wouldn't think of making that sort of. That's a nice photo. You wouldn't think about writing something like this. It's impossible.
Hey, I have to ask everybody behind us, why aren't we louder? We just won MLS Cup, baby. Let's go. Come on.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Hey, I want to know also, by the way, how many of you will be right back here tomorrow at 4 o'clock when the celebration starts?
Did you guys know that? There's a party here
There
tomorrow.
will be a
4
party
o'clock.
here. So
Tomorrow,
just
4
camp
o'clock.
out. Just camp out.
Yeah, I'm not going home.
Don't camp out.
Okay,
stay
so
right
let's,
under
let's
the-
move
You
along.
can hit the
Let's-
USC tailgate.
Well, let's move along, and this is a chance for the audience to get involved because these questions are going to kind of deal with the whole season and things going on. So if you guys got to answer these, I want to hear them, and we'll hand you a mic or we'll get you in here. Most important moment of the season. What was yours? Most important moment of the season? It could be anything.
I'll give you mine. Hiring Steve Cherundolo. Hiring Steve Cherundolo, who guided us through the transition from Bob Bradley to what became LAFC 2.0, to using and correctly using the talents of guys like Giorgio Chiellini and guys like Denny Bouanga, Gareth Bale, Christian Teo. We weren't bringing up guys from the Las Vegas Lights or from the academy. We were signing A-level talent and asking a first-year head coach to go out there, manage all that talent, win the Shield, win the West, win MLS Cup. And he checked every single one of those boxes. Steve Cherundolo, his hire, most important moment of the season.
I mean, that's pretty
That's
good.
the
That's a pretty good answer. Is that the answer?
That is the answer. I mean, big picture,
Well,
that's the
Max,
answer.
you give your answer. I'm gonna float around in the crowd a little bit,
Okay.
see if I can get some answers.
I'm going to go a little micro and just the goal in Portland by Denny Bouanga, which allowed LAFC to win the Supporters Shield and play in this building 3 times. That is, if he doesn't get that, who knows? Remember, they lost the Nashville game. So this final could have been in Chester, and who knows? Because remember, the penalty shootout occurred in the North End, and it was raucous. And if you think for a minute that didn't get in the Union players, you're only kidding yourself. So I'm going to go with that.
I mean, look, I don't want to be that high, but we got to the last game of the season. I can't imagine that there's any more important moment than Gareth Bale scoring or John McCarthy coming up in the penalty.
Yeah.
Right here at the end.
Right here at the end. I just
Yeah.
this is what got us to across the finish line. No.
Oh. What's your name?
My name is Josue Lopez.
Josué Lopez. What was the moment this year?
For me, getting Maxime Crepeau. Finally getting a solid goalkeeper.
Yep.
And boom, that's what solidified our defense and just gave us the confidence.
And remember, they got Maxime, they got Ilie, they got Kellen Acosta within a week or so. So that was huge.
So do me a favor. That's your camera right there. Look in there and give Maxime some kind words and some well wishes right now.
Maxime, I love you, Max! Hey, you have my heart. Hey, I
We love you, Max.
more.
I love it. Nice job, Lewis.
Thank you.
Vince is like P.T. Barnum over here.
He's
He's
bringing a
getting
chat
people.
legend onto the show right now, all the way from Iowa. Iowa.
Get in here.
All the way
There we
from
go.
Iowa.
My moment.
Why LAFC?
New club in the league, like the colors. Also, ground level LA club. No one can call me a bandwagon.
That's right.
And after
Represents the
season,
city.
Right here.
That's
right.
it. Hey, we were all here from the beginning, right? We were here from the beginning.
And no bandwagon, no bandwagon.
That's important. You can tell that to your kids. We got it. Is that the MLS Cup champion? Let me. No. I just want to show it. It's out. It's out.
Look at that hat.
There's the hat.
We got the cup. We got the cup.
We got the cup.
We got the cup. We got the cup. We got the cup.
Look at these scenes behind
No.
guys.
Okay, okay, people. Thank you. It was good for TV.
This is incredible, guys. Look, LA puts themselves.
One moment. Oh.
Yeah.
I got one moment from the match when the legend Gareth Bale came through.
I barely have a voice for that right now,
Thank you.
Brenda, but I will. We'll get there. What's your name?
Justin Salazar.
Justin Salazar.
Dustin. Dustin, yeah.
Dustin with a D.
Yeah.
What was the moment?
The moment is when we won the Supporters Shield, and that's the moment when LAFC knew not to give up, to go in for goal, and to win big games. Doesn't matter if we're 1-0 out, 2-0 out, we're going to find a way to win big games. And this is just the beginning, because CONCACAF Champions is next for us.
By the way, the draw for CCL is this week coming up, I think,
it's coming up at the end of the week, right? Yeah.
So we get right into the CCL after this. So it's there's a nonstop party if you're involved with LAFC. And because of that, Dustin, you got to, I mean, did you come to all 3 playoff games?
Yes, I did.
How many people came to all 3 playoff games?
Woo! There we go. Dedicated.
How many memories is that you get to come and share with your family and friends? This is, I hope it happens again, but we don't know if it's going to happen again. And you don't know if you get a chance to come this close. I think for LAFC, there'll be other times, but you don't know if you're going to get this opportunity.
You never know. That's why you have to make this moment count. Every moment count at LAFC.
Yep.
This is not just fans. This is a family, and family fights together.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's my guy, Dustin, right there.
No, I love you guys, but it's a little quiet right now. We just won MLS Cup. How we feeling?
Great job, dude.
You guys go.
There we go.
You guys
I'm
go
back.
for the cheap pop.
All right, I'm back. Everyone's taking my job. They're doing great jobs.
Good.
All right, can I move us along? Those are great moments. I'm sure we could go down the list. Every single one of you, I'm sure, has a fantastic moment, and they're all correct. Let's move on. As we start to look to the offseason, what's something that you think is a change in the offseason that might occur? What are you looking maybe forward to? What do you think is going to happen?
Look, coming into this match, I was worried about after the season, what happens with Chiqui Palacios, Jose Cifuentes, Chicho Arango, a lot of guys that we've heard some rumors about possibly being sold on right now. Mm-hmm. But the big question at the end of this match is our starting keeper next year John McCarthy, or do we go out and maybe address that for some reason? Because if the injury is as unfortunate.
Yeah, sports are cruel that way.
Absolutely.
But you do have to start thinking about that.
Every single one of us loves Maxime Crepeau and knows exactly what he brought to the table this season. Maybe he's not ready to go at the start of the season. Maybe he's not ready to go for 2023. That's my biggest question coming out of this match, unfortunately.
Max, your question going into the offseason?
You mentioned a lot of players that, look, everyone's looking at this team. I would even throw Jesus Murillo. He was so good, even though he's a little bit older. There's teams that are looking at that guy and all the assets that he has as a center back. They'll be interested. But you can't come in cheap. So, obviously, the eyes, I think the 2 Ecuadorian guys would be, because of their age, would be the prime candidates. Mahala certainly would be a guy that people are going to put some requests in. Mamadou Fall is already at Villarreal B. I think you keep that core group, but it's going to be tough. And the question is, and they're not going to give away this talent. The question, if the offer is good enough, if you're able to keep those guys. Certainly, Sifu is the brightest shining star. Is that fair to say, because of the age and
the position he plays, profile.
Chiqui's a left-footed fullback. Those are very rare.
Left backs are tough.
So I think that these guys are going to the World Cup. They're going to be even further in the shop window. So I think those 2 are the ones that you would like to keep there, but you don't want to prevent them from going on a European journey, from testing that. And the club has always been good to these players about pursuing those opportunities. Eduardo Tuesta, Diego Rossi, it'd be the latest in that line of that South American players, which has been absolutely amazing. And the good news, if they lose those 2 guys, the scouting is so good, there will be some other guys ready to come in.
There's a 2-3 year plan. There's already feelers out, I'm sure. Connor, do you have a question for the offseason that's not?
For John Thornton.
110 football.
110 football.
What's 110 football going to do next season? Is that your question?
Yeah, what are they going to do next season?
Well, if they continue to chant like this, we'll definitely be back
the chanting just
next season. Yeah, their chanting just stopped. Oh, God.
They
Great.
just stopped.
What a bummer for me.
No, but John Thornton and the rest of the recruitment staff has proven that even in a year that we miss playoffs, we can put together an all-star roster.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
you
excited.
feel good about him, the turnover that naturally happens.
I am excited to see how he's able to put another all-star roster together on the highest of highs coming off of a MLS Cup winning season. It's much different than where we were at this time last year.
Okay, so these are all questions.
The offseason is going to be fun regardless.
Yeah, the offseason will be fun regardless, and we'll get to celebrate. You're champions until you're not. So we're holding this until we're not. So that's the best thing about an offseason.
We're champions. This team right here, we're champions.
There you go. The offseason question kind of brought the mood down a little bit, so this will bring it back up, and I'm going to get some more people back in my chair, maybe
You've
some
really
different
bummed
people.
out the mood right here.
Yeah, no, but here's the question: How will you remember this team?
Whoa, that's deep, Vince.
Wow, pin drop.
I have one way I'll remember.
I mean,
every time I look at my new jersey with a star right over the crest, that's how I'm going to remember
gotta
it.
buy a
I know
new
that's not
jersey.
really what you were asking, but that's how I'm going to remember it.
No, I mean, look, I'll go because I'm going to give my seat up. And I thought this came to us from Chris, and I thought long and hard about it and how I was going to answer this. And it kept coming back to this, and I didn't want to do it because it was about me. Me personally, this is the team that made me love LAC again. I know a lot of people up here in the crew, and maybe some of you guys know my history with LAFC.
Yep.
It's a love-hate relationship sometimes.
Hire Vince.
Hashtag hire Vince.
But
Hashtag hire
I
Vince.
never would have left if I didn't have to. I'm so happy that I landed here with 110 football where I could do what I'm very good at, and I'm proud of it. But Max can attest to this. The tenor of this team from day one when we showed up with Steve Trundle and he opened the doors, it was a different feeling, just a different vibe, and you knew a page had been turned. And then the guys that John Thornton brought in, I've never felt so welcomed, even when I actually worked for the club. So this team really made me love LAFC again. I love the guys. I love the staff. I love the cooks. I love the person that cleans up. I love you guys. So I think for me, I was never going to be out on LAFC, but this just reaffirmed my love for them. And so I'm back. I'm not going anywhere, baby.
I love it.
Not leaving.
It takes a lot to get Vince to give his loud voice. That was it right there. I love it.
And also give it a personal take.
right?
You hit it on the nail. You made it about you, which was good because I spent a lot of time with you, and I know how you've been through highs and lows, and how much you love this club. And I fell in love with this team as well, but it was unexpected because there were all these parts that you didn't think would click. Some MLS veterans. Remember when Kellen came here and there was reports, he wants to go to Europe, and I go, is that a
that
good
story
fit?
came out quick.
Yeah, it came out. He settled in. Ilie Sanchez, Maxime Crépeau. His departure from Vancouver was, a little icy. And then you had the arrival of Chiellini and Bale, and seeing those guys do the sha-la-las, and you realize this is really a family. Everything just fits perfectly. And again, you give credit to John Thornton and Steve Cherundolo because when you bring that much talent and so many players from all over the world, it's not supposed to blend. Mm-hmm. And this thing did. Immediately.
Yeah.
It's like you expect someone to be a bit pissy about something. I'm not getting the playing time. Everyone fell into place and was perfectly happy with their role. And I want to reiterate that because you don't see that in any sport.
Well, Max, as I go out into the crowd and do my wrangling again, you have a personal story with this club, and this was an interesting year for you. So please share with us how will you remember this? How you remember this team?
One personal.
You are the voice of LAFC.
The voice of
my friend.
LAFC.
You are who people think of when Carlos Vela scores the Houdini goal.
Yes.
When we replay so many highlights, you are the voice that we hear. What is this like?
Damn you, JR.
We love you, Max.
So how are you going to remember this, Max?
Oh man, I just this was the I've been at this for longer than I care to mention, a long time, and I've had a lot of jobs. I've worked for. Jeez, I don't want to list my resume, but a lot of times they drag you through the mud, and
Humble brag.
You just want to be happy. And I'm getting old, and I don't want to jump through hoops. This club treated me so well, and this is a job I always wanted. You want to be a voice for an LA team because this is the greatest people in the world, and this is the best sports town. The best sports town at me. Don't at me, Philly, New York, Boston. There's no contest. These are
at
real
me.
people.
Let's go. At me.
Yeah, we're doing the deal with Apple. We'll find out more details, but I'll still be with LAFC. But not being able to call these games on a regular basis and coming into this venue every time is going to be hard. But we'll find a way to keep connected because this is the happiest I've ever been supporting teams. So thanks for letting me have that. I got to
And real quick, Connor, all of this is your brainchild.
Let's go.
Right here.
This guy made this happen.
How are you going to remember this season in this club?
I can't understate how interesting these past 5 years have been. I've technically grown up. I'm 19. I've grown up with this club.
Yep.
what I looked like when Simon scored that last-minute winner in the first game in this building compared to now is so much different. But I don't know, it's a different feeling being able to celebrate the MLS Cup trophy with the people that you've been here every single week.
Yeah.
Every single week, arm in arm with everyone here.
Yeah.
To be able to celebrate with that, like, it's a family.
Good people.
It's
I
a
know. I love
family.
everyone here.
Yeah.
I love
Honestly,
you guys. I love you guys.
You guys can stay at my house anytime. Not everyone. 90%
All right,
of you.
so this is our resident cowboy back here. He doesn't have his hat on today, but Chris Lafferty, friend of the show, almost co-host half the time of the show. How are you going to remember this MLS Cup winning team?
The difference that we've had in over these 5 years is we've had a really cool team, a really great team, a good team of players. I think with the additions that John Thornton brought in, the Ilias, Ryan Hollingshead, Kellens, Max,
Ryan Hollingshead, we keep forgetting to mention him.
All of those guys, they make you proud to be rooting for the black and gold, not just based on their talent, but who they are as people. And I felt that we've had a connection with this team based on who we have as people out on the field. But it also carries over into the stands. Today, after we scored, I dropped to my knees just as a reaction. I didn't mean to, I just did.
Yeah.
And I had people I never met hugging me before, because that's who we have here, not just on the pitch, but out there in the stands with each other as well.
Yeah.
The great people. And I also just want to say, while I got a second, a huge thank you to all of you guys here, to 110 Football, Vince, Philly. Thank you for starting this year so that all of us fans could have somewhere to go, vent, celebrate, and just really get back into it with everybody and be a part of it with you guys. Truly, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you, Max. It's a real honor to be around you, and thank you for being the voice of us for these 5 years. I appreciate
You guys are too much.
No, thank you.
I know you're going to boost Max's ego a little bit too much. Oh, my goodness.
Let it all out. Let it all out.
How you guys doing?
All right, how are you?
Good.
Who are you?
We're champions, guys.
What's your name? Tell everybody your name.
We're champions. My name is Justin. I'm from the Imperial Valley, down south. Fellow teacher.
Nice.
So shout out to my world history and ELD classes. We're going to be watching this tomorrow.
He may not come in on Monday.
You better
He may
not.
be a little late.
Yeah, it's going to be moving in for sure.
Roll the film.
How am I going to remember this team? Last year, this team was. We're talking about emotional roller coasters.
Yeah.
It was really going down to the bottom.
Yeah.
There was a lot of discourse going on in the internets, on the Twitters, on the Reddits, on whatever you guys want to follow along. And it was a lot of negativity going on. Chirillo got hired. I was one of the people that was kind of skeptical, and he just completely blew me away. This team completely blew me away. Thornton wasn't a believer at first, and then again, blew me away. This team is the Hollywood ending we've all been wanting for, right? We go down, not go down, but we win, we lose, we win, we're winning, we lose, and all of a sudden, again, class. So here we are.
Wow.
Right? No
Teacher
class. No,
moment.
sorry, no class. But again,
is
it's one of those
dismissed.
things where we don't know what's going to happen until it happens. True Hollywood ending. I can't get over it. I can't really put my words to my mouth. I'm overexcited. Really happy to be here with you guys.
Perfect.
I want to shout out to the Voices of Black and Gold. Shout out to all the Pat fam.
Great podcast.
Everybody.
Philly.
So happy, and I want to go ahead and give my microphone to someone who actually knows what they're doing with it.
Wow. And by the way, this is a great opportunity to spread this brand of LAFC. We are supporters here, but we got to build it. So we're double and triple, and this becomes a global name.
Hi, what's your name, sir?
So Vince LaRosa. So Vince LaRosa's in a timeout right now because I got a job to do. What I do want to say, obviously you can hear my voice. I've been screaming.
Were you smoking ciggies? What's
No,
going on?
I don't smoke anything, Max. Here's the deal, folks. The last time I was blessed enough to be in this chair, which was last week, we were the best in the West. And now that I have this microphone in my hand, we are now the best in. Major League Soccer is now black and gold. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Union. You guys had a great season. Congratulations. Universal is well worth exploring, as is Disneyland. Make sure you don't choke on any cheesesteaks on your way back home.
There we go. Let's go.
And that's the bottom line because Philly said so.
Philly 316 said so. And I mean, first off, I just want to say thank you to XRM. I want to say thank you to Connor. Thank you to Vince. Thank you to Max. Thank you to my brother in pod, J.R. Lebert. Thank you to the millions of all y'all out there. I love this club. I love this team. I love this community. And this is honestly one of the happiest days of my life. I love you all.
Philly. Guys, one more time? One more time? Should we run it back?
Oh, yeah.
One more time.
Run it back. Everybody get in here. Everybody get in here. Everybody get in
Do we
here.
get back there? Do I get back there? Are we doing shout
Let's go. Yeah.
Right. I'm going with the peeps.
It feels so good to say we're the best in the West and the best in MLS. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, what color is MLS? You know how this works. We're going to the left and then the right 4 times, and then it's time to go bonkers. Let Major League Soccer know who you are. Let the Philadelphia Union be reminded who is the best. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Sha-la-la-la-la-la. LAFC. This is so beautiful. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la. Vince, get your ass here. LAFC. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la. LAFC. One more time, baby. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la. Let's fucking go! Sha-la-la-la-la-la. LAFC. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la. LAFC. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la. I can't hear
All
you.
right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been an incredible season. Thank you for watching 110 football all year long. We'll be back in 2023. You guys are the best fans in MLS. LAFC is the best in MLS. See you soon.